All right, welcome to yoga. So happy to see you on this somewhat dreary December day here in Atlanta. For today's class, you will need, pardon me, you will need a yoga belt or something that can work like that, and that could be the tie to a robe or a long scarf. Even a towel or something that you can hold it just to help extend your arms, blocks or something that will function in that way. Maybe a flat pillow or a folded blanket or towel. So have your props handy and we will go ahead and get started. So this is part 2 of my holiday series. Today's topic is presence, being present. It is so easy to get caught up in that whirlwind of the holidays and lose our grounding, that feeling of being buffeted from thing to thing to thing without stopping to take in what is really being offered. And, or now, when so much of our interaction is virtual, it's easy to get distracted or zone out and miss the true connection that is possible, even over the internet. So, how do we find that sense of presence in us? There is a spark that joins us to every living thing. It lights up the dark corners so that we can find our way to clarity and understanding, to joy and brightness. Rabbi Shefa Gold, who is just an incredible sage and speaks to all people and all our experiences, she writes that we learn that this light that we all share, which is consciousness itself, requires our daily attention. This is the steady practice of awareness that underlines all other practice. So, just like tending a fire, we have to tend our internal fire so that we can come back again and again to our awareness of ourselves, our presence. So, let's jump in to a meditation. So you can be seated or lying down, whatever speaks to you. And take a moment to find your meditation posture, allowing yourself to settle, be comfortable and supported, and release into the ground beneath you. Really feel that connection to the earth. As you, excuse me, as you inhale, sit up taller or extend your spine if you're lying down. As you exhale, release and let go of something that you're holding on to that isn't serving you. Becoming aware of your sensory environment. Sensation is a brilliant way, it's a way of connecting us to the present moment, because if you're feeling a sensation, you are present. So notice what is around you, the colors, the light, the patterns. If you choose, you can close your eyes or take a soft, unfocused gaze and begin to notice what you hear beyond the sound of my voice. Can you discern what sounds are close by and which are further away? What sounds are steady? What sounds are interruptive? And then come back to noticing your own breath as it moves through your body without changing anything, without adapting. And please bear with me, I have my seasonal cough. Not sick, just tickled. So noticing your breath, where do you feel it in your body? Where does it make its presence known. Take a moment to notice and stay with your breath through a couple of cycles of inhales and exhales. Just awareness, just noticing. And then we'll bring our awareness of breath to the solar plexus. That's that spot that's right below. It's kind of at the peak of your diaphragm, your breathing muscle, but it's above your belly button and below your rib cage. And this is the home of the third chakra. The chakras are energy wheels that run through the body at the center of the body. And it is just a way of organizing these energy systems. And we'll talk more about that as we go. But the third chakra, which is right at that solar plexus, is the home of our personal fire, our power center. So imagine that there's a flame burning right in the center. And as you inhale, the flame expands. And as you exhale, it shrinks just a little bit. Inhaling right into the solar plexus. I'm pointing, but you can't see because of my camera. So right into the solar plexus. We need just the right amount of oxygen, just like a fire, to keep a steady flame. If there's too little, it dies. Too much, and it blows out or burns up. So stay focused, inhaling and exhaling smoothly to keep that flame. And we'll take about 10 breaths right here. Staying with it until you're ready to release and come in to your natural breath. Noticing what this focus on our internal flame has brought you. Maybe nothing, maybe a greater sense of presence, a greater sense of self. So we're going to start out today supine, lying on our backs. So make sure as you make your way onto your back that you have your yoga belt or something that you can use in that capacity handy, and that you have a block and maybe a folded blanket or that flat pillow handy. Begin to make your way on to your back. You can have a small pillow or the folded blanket under your head if you'd like. And you can bend your knees, allowing your back to be settled against the mat. And take a moment to scan through the body and notice if there are places that you're holding yourself away from relaxing into the floor beneath you. And begin to let go, releasing and relaxing. I'm going to move back so that I can demonstrate for you. But we'll start with a pelvic tilt. So with knees bent, feet near the body, knees and feet about hip distance apart. Inhale And then as you exhale, press the small of your back, that rounded part of your low back, into the mat beneath you. As you inhale, release the press, creating that curve of the low back. And then exhale, press and flatten once again. And we'll keep doing this rocking of the pelvis, this pelvic tilt, moving with your breath. As you inhale, your tailbone will drop down towards the floor. As you exhale, the top of your pelvis will drop down towards the floor. So it's this rocking motion, this movement here. Take just a few more passes as we begin to warm up the body. And the next time that you come through neutral, pause there and draw your knees up towards your chest, hugging them in. You can have one hand on each knee, or if you can wrap your arms around your shins, you can do that. Rock a little bit from side to side. And then coming back to center, go ahead and bring your feet down and grab your strap. So we're going to extend the strap, and again, you can use the belt from a robe or a long scarf, and bend your left knee in and see if you can lasso the sole of your foot. You can have the belt or strap right at the arch or a little higher up by the ball of the foot. If it's hard for you to hold on to the edges of the strap, it is for me because I have arthritis in my hands, I like to wrap it around my wrist and then hold on to it like this. I hope you can see that. Makes it just a little bit easier for me. So one knee is bent, the other leg is pressing up and out. Let your knee bend as much as it needs to for you to bring your foot so that it is making a footprint on the ceiling, right? So that the foot is pressing up towards the ceiling. Let your knees, your knee of your extended leg be bent and soft so it's not a strain behind your leg. And we'll go into some pointing and flexing. So point, pressing up with the ball of your foot. Now, if you like, you can point your toes, but sometimes that makes people's feet cramp. So to avoid that, you can keep your toes curled back and press through the ball of your foot, which we call Barbie doll feet. And then exhale and press your heel towards the ceiling, flexing your foot, bringing both sides, the big toe and the pinky toe side, towards you equally. Point on the inhale and flex. Point, and then this time as you flex, bend your knee and pull your knee towards you. Your foot is still pointing towards the ceiling. Press and extend your leg, pointing through your foot. Exhale, bend and flex. Couple more. And then come to stillness. Bring both ends of the strap into your left hand. Again, I like to wrap it. Bring your right hand to your right hip point. And actually, I need to scooch it a little because I'm too close to the wall. We're going to very carefully allow the leg to extend out to the side, only to the place where you can feel a nice comfortable stretch, but that your right hip isn't popping up, right? We're not rocking all the way to the side. We're staying with our pelvis nice and grounded and then allowing the leg to open. Use the strap to modulate the stretch and feel free to keep your knee as bent as you like. Breathing in to that sense of opening in your inner thigh. And then on an inhale, draw the leg up over the hip. Switch hands. And this time we're going to draw the leg just across the midline. So just moving in towards center and maybe a little bit across. You may or may not feel a stretch in your outer thigh, in your hip. And then inhale back to center. Hold one end of each of the strap in each hand and see if you can bring your other foot up to meet the first foot. And then slide the left foot out, keeping the right. And we'll start with our pointing and flexing. Inhale, press up. Exhale, flex. Couple more. And then the next time that you're flexing, try bending your knee and drawing it up like towards your shoulder. Inhale, straightening the leg, pressing up through the ball and maybe the toes. Exhale, bend and flex. And just a couple more like this. And the next time that you're extending, we'll switch the straps into the right hand. Bring the left hand to the left hip point, just as a reminder to keep that hip nice and grounded. And then begin to open the leg out to the side. Let your knee bend until you find a comfortable stretch in your inner thighs. Breathing, using the strap to support you, keeping that left hip nice and grounded. One more breath. And then inhale and draw the leg up, switch hands. And again, we're just going to come past the midline. See if you feel that stretch in the outer hip and thigh. Inhale back to center and release the strap. Bring your feet down. You can put the strap off to the side. Draw your left knee in towards your left shoulder. Maybe you can wrap your hands around it. Stay right here, or maybe try extending that right leg just to where it feels comfortable, pressing out through the heel, flexing the foot, trying to get the knee and toes to point up towards the ceiling. You can stay right here, or on an exhale, float your extended leg an inch or more off of the mat. Stay right here, or on your next exhale, draw your nose towards your knee. Now, if you can see the screen, you can see that my nose and knee have quite a bit of air between them, but it's the intention, it's the direction that you're moving by drawing the nose towards the knee. One more breath here, and then release both legs. Maybe bounce them out a little bit and switch side. Drawing the right knee in, maybe extending the left. Take a moment here with the stretch, and then decide if you'd like to exhale and hover your extended leg. Feel that for a moment. Feel the internal flame. It may be growing stronger. And exhale, maybe draw that nose towards your knee. Make sure you're breathing here. And maybe one more exhale and release. Extend both your legs, maybe bounce them out. And then bending your knees, walk them out wide toward the edges of your mat. And then let them drop gently from side to side. And the next time that your knees are dropping to one side, Go ahead and roll to that side. We're going to come onto our bellies. So here's where you may want to use that pillow or folded blanket underneath your abdomen. Gives you a little more space and protects your low back. So here, showing how I have it underneath my abdomen. And I'm on my forearms, hands pressing down. Really feel the connection of your hip points, the fronts of your hips, pressing down into the floor, the mat, the pillow or blanket. Really feeling that connection. If this is too much extension in your back, walk your hands forward a little bit until it feels okay. And pressing down, imagine you could draw your elbows back, sending your heart center in between your shoulders. Again, directional. It may not really be coming through, but it's that idea of opening and moving forward. Try not to crank your head up, right? Keep it looking down and right in between your thumbs so that you can extend through the back of the neck, reaching the crown. One more breath here, and then see what it would feel like to bend one knee and then the other. Almost as if you were trying to kick your bottom. I think when I was a kid, I used to be able to do that. Not so much anymore. And then if it's comfortable, bend both knees, maybe flex your feet, maybe circle your ankles a little, both directions. And then we'll drop our feet, our legs, from side to side, getting a twist from the other direction. Coming back through center and lower legs down. Once again, pressing in to your forearms, into your hands, drawing your elbows back isometrically, right? So you're not sliding, you're gripping and energetically pulling back, sending your chest, your heart through. One more breath. And then walk your hands back and press yourself up and back into child's pose. You may want to bring that blanket under your knees, or if you have something else that you like to use. And we'll come into child's pose, also coming down onto forearms. You can stay right here, or stack fists or hands, or bring your head all the way down to the mat. So in this position, what is your awareness of that internal fire? That sense of your own aliveness, your own personal power. Breathe in to that center. And again, keep the flame burning. Not too much, not too little, smooth and even. And when you're ready, press up, coming to tabletop. Hands or fists or forearms. And I can show you with blocks. You can come onto your forearms and have a nice situation. So finding your tabletop, extending your spine from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Draw your belly in, supporting your back. Take a few breaths, feeling, again, that inner fire. It's a way of staying present. And then we'll move into cat and cow. As you inhale, lifting your tailbone, sink that center of the body towards the floor, lifting through the heart, reaching again through the crown of the head, but keep your face looking down so that you're not cranking your head. Exhale, tuck your tail, draw that belly in, that fire center right up and in, let go of your head. And continue rolling opening through the spine. Inhale, opening the front body. Exhale, opening the back. Just a couple more. And this or the next time that you come through neutral, pause there. Let's extend the left leg, toes down, pressing back to stretch through the foot, ankle, and leg. Inhale, engage through your belly as you lift your leg just to hip height. Stay right here or try adding the reach of your opposite arm, lengthening from heel to fingertips. Stay here or inhale, stretch. Exhale, draw the energy into center. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, knee and elbow towards each other. Maybe two more if you've got it. Use the breath. And then come back to center, tabletop. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle to let it go. And we'll move to the other side, extending the right leg. First toes down to get that stretch. Then, if you'd like, engaging through the abdomen to support as you lift the leg to hip height. Pressing out through your heel, knee and toes pointing towards the mat. Maybe add the opposite arm. Stay here and work on strength and balance, or inhale long, exhale, draw in. Last one. And place hands and knees down. Walk your right hand in towards the center and inhale. Lift your left arm. It can come right out at shoulder height, or maybe it lifts up a little bit higher. Exhale and thread the needle coming in between your arm and your body. And then inhale and open. And we'll move dynamically. Now stay with this dynamic movement, or if you're comfortable coming down into thread the needle, you can bring your shoulder and the side of your head to the mat. Breathing in to the stretch. Stay with it. Move into child's pose if you prefer that. 2 more breaths. And on your next inhale, draw the arm up and open, and we'll switch sides. Move this way. Inhale. Start by lifting the arm just to shoulder height. Exhale, reach through. Inhale, maybe it comes a little higher. Exhale through. Inhale, open. And again, you can stay with this dynamic movement or come into thread the needle by bringing your shoulder and side of your head down. Breathing in to the center of the body. Noticing that power center, that flame in many different positions. Stay for 2 more breaths. And on your next inhale, open all the way up and bring hands down. We're going to transition up to standing. So take your time, take your own path, use the supports around you, and make your way up to standing. I'm going to grab a sip of water. You may want to as well. As soon as the heat comes on, my throat gets dry. All right, moving props out of the way. Make sure that you can see me, okay? All right. One more adjustment. Someday maybe you'll see me in person. I won't have to adjust a camera. All right, finding your mountain pose. Feeling your feet making contact with the ground. Maybe you rock a little, front to back, side to side. Find your center, both in terms of being over the center of both feet, but also finding this power center. Let's inhale, arms come up, palms come together. Exhale and draw the energy in. 2 more. Pause right here. We'll move into balance. So if you need additional support, please take it. Maybe a wall or a nice sturdy piece of furniture. Take a moment here to find your focal point, your drishti. On the horizon line, maybe it's down or up, but it's something that's not moving. Resting your eyes on that spot. Feel your feet making contact. And then ever so slight shift to the left so that you can release the right. Turn out and find a foot position for tree, above or below your knee, or toes down, heel towards the other ankle. Try and stand up tall, lifting up over your foot. Make sure breath is flowing. Feel, again, that fire. We can't let it go out. Or a sense of presence. Maybe you'd like to grow some branches. Come in and out as you need to. And come on down. Shake that out and step right back in. Take a moment to find your center before you try to balance. And then make this shift, but keep the center strong. Foot position on this side, is it the same or different? Breathing. If you hold your breath, the fire goes out. Maybe branches grow. Exhale, come back to center and release and shake that out. Beautiful. Let's step out wide, comfortably wide, not too wide. And then turn your legs out so that your toes are pointing off at about a 45-degree angle. The turnout comes from the hips, though, not from the feet or the knees. Inhale and bring your arms just to shoulder height. 5-pointed star. We sometimes talk about the heart shining here. This time, let's shine right from the center of our star. Big inhale to feed the flame, and then exhale and drop into goddess. We can all be goddesses today. Finding that sensation of center, the center drops here. We find a more rooted connection to the earth. Inhale here, open the heart, open that center, and exhale, bring hands to heart center. Maybe drop a little deeper. Inhale, press it away, find your star. Big inhale here, and then exhale into goddess. Hands to heart center. Maybe find a deeper expression. Inhale, open. Last time, we'll drop into our goddess. Hands to heart center. Feel the connection of hand to hand. Feel the flame. Maybe it's brighter right now. One more breath and then, inhale, open it up. And exhale, release down. Let's turn our left foot in a little bit and the right foot out a little more. And we'll inhale, coming into Warrior Two, Viera Bhadrasana 2. So in this pose, our hips are actually pointing straight ahead, right? So we're not rotated. Now, it's a lot to be able to open here, so that's where the work is. We're working to keep our knee over our ankle and to not drop this hip or raise it up. Press down through your feet. Keep your hands on your hips for a moment. And see if you can draw your feet towards each other. Feeling that engagement through the inner legs, through the pelvic floor, and all the way up to that center of power. Inhale here, open, arms at shoulder height. Look out over your front fingers. Inhale here, exhale, draw your left hand to right, and then inhale and pull your arrow. Exhale, reach, inhale, pull. One more. Exhale, inhale, and release. Straighten your legs, turn toes to face forward. We can do a little hip circle here. Make sure everything is moving. And then we'll switch to the other side. So right leg turns in a little bit, left leg turns out. Right from the hip. Bend your knee right over your ankle. Bring your hands to your hips once again. So one side may be harder than the other to find that sense of opening. But make sure the knee stays over the ankle and tracking over the middle toes. Press down and draw your feet towards each other, stoking that fire. And then inhale, reach and look out over front fingertips. Settle a little bit more. Make sure your hips stay balanced. Inhale here, exhale, reach and then draw back your bow. Exhale, inhale, last one, exhale, inhale, and release. Turn toes to face forward and then carefully walk your feet back into center. Walk that out and then step out just a little bit and let's find a gentle twist. Letting go of the effort of the standing practice and finding your way back to stillness. We're going to make our way down to the mat. And you have a choice. You can either stay seated for a seated meditation or lie down for a lying down meditation. Either way will work, and whichever is more conducive to being present. Take your time to get established and comfortable. Noisy swallows. Okay. So wherever you are, feel your connection to the ground beneath you. Maybe It's your bottom, your feet, maybe your knees, your hands grounding on your lap, or maybe it's your hips and the extension of your spine, the back of your head, your shoulders dropping down. If you're lying down, knees can be bent or legs extended, whatever works for your body. Our lives happen in the present moment. The past is gone, and the future isn't quite here yet. Only the present moment exists. And when things are challenging or overwhelming, it's tempting to seek distraction, and there is nothing wrong with that as long as it's done mindfully so that you can enjoy the distraction you're choosing. Watching a movie? Pay attention, laugh, cry. Cooking? Eating something delicious? Taste it, feel it, smell it, be present with your sensations. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, do your best to stay present. So I'm going to take us through a meditation on all of the chakras, those energy centers in the body. And all that I'll ask of you is to bring your attention to each location. Maybe bring your breath there if that's comfortable. And just any awareness that you have of sensation or a feeling of energy, or maybe nothing at all, and just rest. So we start at the root. This is where we make our connection to the earth. The root chakra is about, it's about our sense of survival, our sense of groundedness. It's right at the bottom of the pelvis, at the pelvic floor, and it's represented by the color red. Moving up or across if you're lying down, from the root to the sacral chakra, which is right at the point of your sacrum, which is that triangular bone in between your hip bones. And the sacral chakra is about creativity, joy, sex, creation. Breathe into that place, represented by the color orange. Moving up to the solar plexus. We've spent a lot of time here today. It's right in the center of the body, and like a bright flame, it's represented by the color yellow, our place of energy, motivation, power, our dynamism. Breathe in and out from that space. From the solar plexus, we move to heart center. It is, of course, the seat of our emotional life, our sense of compassion, our sense of self-love. The heart is represented by the color green. Green like new buds on trees, grass growing. Breathe in to the heart and then send your heart energy out, softening and expanding. From there, we move to the throat chakra. This is where our sense of our voice, our voice comes from, our ability to speak our minds, to have a sense of agency, to express ourselves, represented by the color blue. From there, we move to the third eye, right in between our eyebrows, the center of our forehead. The third eye is our place of inner knowing, our own intuition, our ability to connect, represented by the color indigo. And last, the crown of the head. The crown chakra connects us to something greater than ourselves, connects us to the whole universe and beyond. Our sense of curiosity, the desire to understand and connect. And it's represented by the color violet or white. We'll take a few breaths now and imagine that they're starting right at the root, right at your pelvic floor. And as you inhale, the energy travels up the center of the body through each of these chakras all the way to the crown of the head. As you exhale, send the energy down to the pelvic floor and then beyond, deeper into the ground. Inhale, drawing up from the center of the earth all the way up through our energy centers, through the crown of the head and all the way up to the sky. Exhale, grounding, connecting. Inhale, reaching, aspiring, connecting. Take several breaths here. And then you can stay in seated meditation or lying down meditation, or make your way into Shavasana to rest. Take just a few minutes. May your eyes see in all directions. May your ears hear harmony and dissonance with equal pleasure. May you feel the touch of spirit, taste divine nectar, smell the sweet scent of the transcendent and the real. May every breath be blessed with oneness, and may you choose to live in truth, giving yourself fully to this day's unfolding grace. Begin to deepen your breath, bringing small movements into fingers and toes. If you're lying down, roll to one side and pause, and then press into your hands to bring yourself up to sitting. Letting your attention remain deeply inward for another moment or two. We'll seal our practice with one chant of Om for the community that we create when we practice together. If you'd like to join, bringing hands to heart center, we'll inhale. Om Shanti, peace, peace, peace. Jai Bhagwan. May the light in you be victorious. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me and with each other.